I completely reject the bullshit dichotomy of individualism versus socialism. I mean, not like Bernie Sanders socialism, but, collectivism. It's a completely fake dichotomy, and it's been laid out on political lines so that conservatives, they get individualism, they get personal responsibility, they get all of those things. And then because we're stupid, they, and we to a lesser extent allow this idea to go forward, they then claim, well, if you don't believe in our version of the dominance and importance of individualism and personal responsibility, then you must not believe in personal responsibility or doing anything for yourself. And that's how they come up with those ideas like progressives just want free stuff and they want the government to take care of them, and we all want to be coddled and we don't have to do anything for ourselves, because everyone who engages in that conversation is a moron, basically. So here's how I think it breaks down. What is good for the individual does not almost ever make good policy. So what's good for the individual is for you to be in charge of yourself, take as good a care of yourself as possible, make as much money as possible, be totally self-reliant, know how to make a fire without matches, know how to tend all of your own wounds so that you don't have to ever go to the hospital. You could be the most individualistic, self-reliant person in the world, and that would be great. Like, you would be so prepared for everything that you're like a superhuman person. And that would be great for you as an individual. But if we make policy based on that idea that everyone should be like that, well, then we end up with really shitty policy that leaves a lot of people behind, and a lot of people impoverished, and a lot of people sick or dead or dying and destitute. And now again, since we're stupid, when we have this conversation and we say, actually, we think we should have some policies that create regulations that make it so that our food isn't poisoned, or our air isn't poisoned, or our water isn't poisoned, or that we should all have health care because health care is basically as important as food and water. That when we suggest things like that, the other side then says, well, see, they just don't want to do anything for themselves and they want the government to do everything for them. And that is what I completely reject. So today's episode is about the dangers of the cult of individualism, because that is the direction we have gone too far in. If we were ever to live in a world where we went too far in the other direction, and we decided that individuals don't matter at all, only society matters, you as an individual are nothing, only what you can contribute to the whole should be valued, well, then I'd make the exact opposite show. The correct answer isn't one extreme or the other, as is so often the case. The obvious answer is both. Taking personal responsibility and living your life as best you can in your circumstances is obviously good, but that doesn't mean that we should assume everyone is going to be able to do that in exactly the same way and everyone will flourish, so we should take away all aspects of collective thinking, collective action, collective regulation, collective insurance policies, collective taxation and redistribution of wealth, all of those things. Because what those things do is it raises the floor. It gives everyone a higher platform to stand on. It means we all have a baseline that we can work from. And then from that higher baseline, where we have clean air and clean water and healthy food and healthcare and a bunch of other things, well, then we can live our best lives from that new higher point instead of having to scrape and struggle to survive because none of the basic necessities are guaranteed for us. So when we go too far in the other direction, I will join your chorus and sing the praises of the importance of individual freedom. But until then, stop trying to tear down our society. We built it for a fucking reason.